I guess we're always talking about something that's on my mind because I'm talking and no one else is listening. Well, I shouldn't say listening, talking. I hope somebody's listening. I hope you're listening. I hope you like this. If you do like what I have to say, please like and subscribe and share. Tell your friends and your foes and your family and your loved ones. Just share it to people. Say, this guy's got something to say. He's got something to say. Maybe you love it. Maybe you hate it. Maybe you agree with it. Maybe you want to change my thought process. I don't know. I'm willing to admit when I'm wrong. That's for sure. And I think more of us should be willing to admit when we're wrong. So, topic I want to talk about today is, why are we so uptight in this country about who marries who? Maybe it's because marriage has traditionally to do with religion and as a church thing. Well, let's just make it a legal thing. First off, when it comes to marriage, if we get married at church, that's fine. It's basically a legal contract anyways. Let's just make it like renting, for instance. You sign up for a yearly contract, and at the end of the year, you can sign up again. Or you can say, hey, I don't think this worked out. I'm not happy. Yeah, let's move on. No harm, no foul. I'm going to find a new place, just like renting. That's how I think marriage should be. You go down, you sign up for your contract, and you can decide to re-up it every year if you want to. Or you can sign up for a 5-year if you're really into it, and then whatever you do with your religion is your religion. That's your business. But ideally, it's a legal contract between two people. I'm not a big proponent of more than one person marrying each other, but, it's none of my business. But I do feel that adults should be able to marry adults regardless of what you think about it or if you like it or not. As long as no one's being harmed and it's adults, why do I care? I don't care what they do. I don't like thinking about what a lot of people do in the bedroom. It's none of my business, right? Just because you don't find it right doesn't mean that it's not acceptable for two people that love each other, that care about each other, that want to get married. I got married once, and I probably won't get married again unless for some reason I get something that I want to give to somebody and I want to, have that. But I don't think I'm ever going to get married again. I tried it once and I didn't work out, and why would I want to try again? It would have been nice if it was a legal contract you signed up for every year, Maybe it never would have went as far as it did. I don't know. But anyways, woulda, coulda, shoulda, whatever. But anyways, when it comes to, who you love, why do you care? Why does it matter to you? What does it matter if it's two women, two men, two whatever, people that have whatever pronouns they go by? As long as they're adults, not harming animals anyway, what does it matter to you? Really? I mean, come on. Maybe, we don't like what you do in the bedroom with your significant other. Should we going to come after you for that? Maybe all of a sudden we're going to come after people who like missionary style. Oh, we're going to get you damn dirty missionary people. You have to look each other eye to eye. Oh, that's disgusting. Ew, nasty. How could you look each other eye to eye? Ew, what's wrong with you? Ew. Whatever. You don't like it. It's not your thing. It's not your kink, so to speak. Don't kink shame somebody else. You should be happy someone found love, right? Isn't that what your whole, whatever your belief is, rootly? Be kind, find love, be happy. Maybe you don't like the way it looks. I don't care. It's none of your business, right? You don't like the way people are making out, don't look at them. You don't like two people holding hands, don't look at them. You don't like PDA, basically public display of affection, don't look at it. You don't like gay parades, don't go to them. You don't like football games, don't go to them, whatever, I don't get it. I just don't get it. Love who you love. Be lucky you find love. My God, I didn't have people, if you love somebody and they're like, well, I don't agree with your love. Well, I don't agree with you. I mean, let's be honest. There's some heterosexual couples that are pretty nasty looking that I'd never want to think about. Ooh, what they do in the bedroom? Nasty. But not my business. That's my thought process, but I don't care what you do. Like I said, you're not harming each other. You're both adults. Have at it, right? I mean, it's about children. People can adopt. They can be raised in a family of love. That's what it's about. Love, compassion, and maybe stability is a wonderful thing. If you can find that and raise children and want to adopt children, or maybe take care of a cousin or a niece's child or something that maybe is a drug addict that doesn't take care of their kids, and maybe you want to come in and help, or maybe they got mental problems, you want to come in and help them. And it doesn't matter who you sleep with, you can still be a good parent regardless. You know, I don't know. I just think we're too caught up on people's genitalia in this country, who they identify as, where they go to the bathroom at, who they have sex with. You know, it's none of your business. If they're not doing it to you, they're not harming, like I keep on repeating, they're not doing it to you. There are grown adults, they're not harming children. It is none of your business. We've agreed on some norms in this culture. Why can't we agree on love is a wonderful thing, regardless of how it looks to you? You know, I don't understand the phobia against stuff. I don't want to call people homophobes because they don't like something and they don't agree with it. I don't think that's proper. You know, there's people that definitely don't like people that are gay and whatever. I mean, there's no doubt about it. But there's a lot of people that just don't understand it because they haven't been around it, maybe. I don't know. Everybody knows someone that's gay or has some other preference or whatever. We all know that. I mean, you kind of hide it like it's not there. And if you have to hide your own sexuality for that matter, I feel bad for you. You know, that sucks. I would hate to hide my sexuality. You know, I've known that I've loved women since I've been a little kid, little boy. I remember, you know, all my life chasing girls around. You know, just something I like. I like women. You know, and I bet that everybody else who likes whatever preference, it's been there their whole life. It's not like you turn that switch on, and to believe that you choose. Wow, that says a lot about you. Yeah, to believe that you choose to be whatever, that says a lot about you, because maybe you think if you can't, I mean, if you can't fathom that somebody is born a certain way, and you really question that, maybe you had trouble deciding who you were, which is fine. I'm not knocking that, but be more concerned about the health of people, the happiness of people. Be more compassionate towards people. You know, I don't know. It's a strange world we're living in right now. And I have friends of all different genders, sexualities, whatever, you know, that identify as various things. And I don't have a problem with any of them. They're all good people, right? There's good people and bad people in this world. Yeah. There is. And I don't want to be so black and white. There's people that aren't nice people, that aren't kind people. When I say good and bad, that's my concept. People that aren't kind, compassionate, and don't love people are bad people. People that do are good people. It's pretty simple. That's my concept of good and bad. And they can come of all shapes and sizes and creeds and whatever. There's some very hateful people that, I'm not picking on anything, but I've seen some very hateful people that are very hate-filled, but yet they believe something else that doesn't say anything about hate at all. So what does it matter to you? Really? I mean, you're that disgusted, turn it off. You know, do you think it's going to affect your children in some way? That's crazy. You know, people are who they are. And if your kid's gay and you don't accept them, God forbid. What is wrong with you? That's your child. You know, you should accept. The first question, if your child comes to you and says, "Hey, I'm gay," the first thing you should say is, "Are you happy?" Yeah, let that settle on for a little bit. Are you happy? All right? Talk about their happiness. Little secret. People have been gay for a very, very long time. Look at history. Yeah. Go do some real search on some history, right? These figures that we know. What I recently listened to Alexander the Great, right? We think Alexander the Great conquered the world. And his bodyguard best friend, who he had sex with all the time, conquered the world with him. You know? Hey, teach your own. But that was quite common practices back then. So, hey, different culture, different time, right? And I don't understand how it's been around. I mean, it's in nature. To say that, I mean, to actually say, in my opinion, because there's documented cases in nature, it's been through human history, to say that gay people aren't natural is, to me, to say that God makes mistakes, so to speak, and God isn't natural. God created everybody the way they are. If you believe that, I believe nature is God and nature creates things the way they are, right? Whatever it is, that's what I kind of look at. And you're beautiful no matter who you are. You're beautiful, you're beautiful, you're beautiful. Embrace who you are, right? As long as you're happy with it. Not everybody's going to be happy with your choice. Not everybody's going to accept it. But many of us will. And maybe that makes me weak. You know, people say, oh, you're a weak man because you have empathy and compassion and kindness and you see things differently. You're just weak. No, I'm not weak. I'm logical and I understand things. And, you know, everybody belongs in this society. Everybody has a place in the society. Everybody has a part to play in the society. That's what makes us great, is we accept people that are different in many ways. It's just one of the differences that we need to accept. It's a product of evolution. It is what it is. People are going to be gay. People are going to like each other. People are going to like different things. People are going to want to change their sexuality. People are going to identify as different things. It is what it is. And it's been that way since the beginning of time, since the beginning of humans that we know. Lots of evidence. Go look and see. Even a lot of people you might look up to and you think, oh, they were the manliest ever. Well, you can still be manly and gay. You can be a great warrior and still like people of the same sex or opposite sex or meaning sex, whatever. You know, stop being obsessed with people's sexuality. It's quite bizarre. Get past that. People are going to get freaky on their own time. Who cares? Let them do their freaky deaky. Get it on, do their kink, whatever. You know, I bet you they'll be better people when they come back and they get, you know, their wild side out of them, so to speak, whatever it may be, you know, whether you think, you know, I don't know. It's none of my business what you do, the better is my point, right? None of my business at all. None of my business. None of my business. And I wish you would accept that too. So it's something that's been on my mind for a while. I just don't get it. You know, why are we so obsessed with genitalia in this country? In marriage, you know, let's make it simple. A contract we sign on a yearly basis, check, renew at the end of the next year. And eventually maybe we'll sign it for good, you know. Maybe we'll buy that house, so to speak, you know, sign the lease. I guess I don't know much about much, and, you know, I don't know anything about anything. And I just, you know, the whole point of all this conversation and talking about these things is just let people be happy, you know, and if you can find happiness, that is probably the utmost important thing you could possibly ever do is find happiness. If you can find happiness, go out there and find that shit, man. Enjoy it. Dig deep, man. Grab into happiness. Love it. Be who you are. And you'll be a better member of society when you embrace who you are. And hopefully, you know, one mind at a time, we can get people to look at things a little bit differently and, you know, maybe stop caring so much. You know, just let it go. There's more important things, way more important things in the world than who your neighbors next door are and what their sexual or non-sexual relationship, because not every couple has sex in the world either, for that matter. I don't know. It's weird. It's weird. Stop being so creepy. Ooh, Americans are creepy. They care all about who you're doing it with, what you're doing it, how you're doing it, blah, blah, blah. It's none of your business. None of your business. Are they good humans? Yeah. Do they harm each other? No. Any kids being harmed? No. Why not? I don't know. Maybe I'm just crazy. I don't get it. I know. I don't know. Learn to love better. Learn to be happy. Learn to accept people for who they are. You're not going to change them. You're not going to change this world with this. Let people marry regardless of who they are. Let people love regardless of who they are. Let people be regardless of who they are. Who they do it with in the bedroom is none of your business. Stop making it your business. Nothing makes you even be brought up. Huh. Stop it. Stop being so creepy and weird. Learn to love. Learn to accept love in all forms. Thank you for watching this episode of Blue Green's World.